Time to take you to the world of football, and sure, you're in good hands with myself and Favor. So it's Kenya that is taking the day right now. Kenya has a great chance to host the African Cup of Nations 2027 if things move with speed to beat the deadline by the Confederation of African Football. President William Ruto announced that Kenya will present the African Cup of Nations 2027 bid on Wednesday. That's tomorrow by the West African time. Now, making it the second bid step in the nation's dream to host the continental showpiece for the very first time. Kenya won the bid to host the AFCON in 1996 and CHAN 2018, but they lost that hosting rights for both tournament to South Africa and Rwanda, respectively. This due to poor preparations. Kenya now is hoping to partner with neighbors Uganda and Tanzania to present what is now referred to as the EAC Pamoja bid, as they seek to bring continental showpiece to East Africa for the very first time in history. Now, to join myself and Favor in this conversation will be our sports commentator from Nairobi, Kenya, Eric Ochieng. Thank you so much, Eric Ochieng, for joining us on the show.
Good afternoon, Obaro.
Thank you. It's great to see you. I love the name. I love it. I'm carrying it with so much pride. So thank you so much. Myself and Favor, we've got a lot to unpack here and to get an understanding and clarity about this bid, this East African bid by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. I will start off from hosting the African Cup of Nations requires a lot of goodwill. Ochieng, you will agree with me, and it requires goodwill and willingness from the host nations. Now, the Kenyan government will be greatly tested, to see whether they can deliver on infrastructure, with the tournament set to fall in on the same year for the next general elections. What are the odds, Ochieng?
Thank you very much, Obaro. Yesterday, our President, His Excellency William Ruto, received the document at State House in Nairobi from Football Kenya Federation President Nick Mwendwa and Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba. And so far, President Ruto has directed Namwamba to establish a diplomacy relationship with Uganda and Tanzania concerning the bid. The bid has been dubbed Pamoja. Pamoja in Swahili means togetherness as one. Ababu Namwamba last week had shuttled between the two nations, that is Uganda and Tanzania, and talked to his counterparts who agreed to support Kenya in the joint bid that will be presented to the CAF, that is tomorrow. And remember, the CAF deadline is May 23rd, so the bid will be done quite early. Remember, they will be up against three other nations, that is Egypt, Botswana, and Algeria, who have already presented their bid for the championship. It is still not well known if probably Kenya will go through the bid, but if probably the bid becomes successful, there is also another hurdle that will be the infrastructure. Remember, the entire East African nation, it is only Tanzania, that is Benjamin Mkapa National Stadium in Dar es Salaam, that is permitted, that is allowed by CAF to host an international event of such magnitude. Namboli Stadium in Uganda and Nyayo National Stadium in Kenya and also Moi International Sports Center Kasarani have all been banned by CAF. So we are waiting for the CAF officials who will be in the country between June 1st to June 15th to inspect our facilities, and we are not sure if the facilities will be given a clean bill of health. As you understand, in 1996, Kenya was stripped of the hosting right, which was extended to South Africa. And in 2018, Kenya also lost another bid to host the African Nation Championship, that is CHAN, to Burundi over the same matter.
Okay.
All right. You just spoke about the failures of Kenya, hosting major tournaments in the past. I did like to ask, Tanzania and Uganda had planned to go without Kenya, but included their neighbor after FIFA lifted the country suspension in November 2022. Now, don't you think that Kenya is moving too fast with this bid on the table, Ochieng?
Of course. Kenya always leads while others follow. You know, Tanzania and Uganda, they are always slow. That's why probably they even fear Kenya's business-wise. and this issue actually, it has a lot of mixed feelings among Kenyans, because a section of Kenyans feels that probably the government intends to use this platform to siphon state funds, because right now Kenyans are reeling in taxes. They're paying a lot of taxes. People are living below poverty line, below $1 a day. And since President Ruto took over the presidency last year, the economy is yet to go back to normal. Then a section of Kenyans feel that this bid will establish Kenya as a global tourist destination, where the foreigners will get into the country and they'll be able to enjoy the sceneries in Kenya, including our amazing parks and national parks, including Tsavo, Masai Mara,
Okay.
Nairobi National Park, among others.
Okay.
So there's that kind of mixed reaction among Kenyans.
All right, we're still talking about the government here, Ochieng. The previous government already failed in their promises of 5 world-class stadia promised during that 2013 campaign. Now, hence the failure to stage that 2018 African Cup of Nations Championship, that's popularly known as CHAN. As we speak now, Ochieng, I'm very sure you can agree with me, CAF is still looking for a country to host the next CHAN. Don't you think that this would have been an ideal chance for Kenya to start off with baby steps to host the CHAN first before hosting an African Cup of Nations?
Actually, I totally agree with you, Obaro. And many Kenyans are asking why AFCON instead of CHAN. Then there is also the situation of targeting the 2030 World Cup. But I also understand that the previous government directed all betting companies to direct their taxes to the National Sports Fund. Right now, the sports fund is bulging with billions and billions of shillings, which have not been put into use. So it is from my case, it is from these billions of shillings that the government intends to use that as a stepping stone towards preparation for the AFCON and probably future international tournaments.
To ask Ochieng, to start with, Kenya is supposed to present Kasarani, Nyayo, Kipchoge Keino Stadium in Eldoret. A lot of work will be required on these facilities, with Eldoret Stadium set to be done afresh from the beginning. These 3 stadiums must be accompanied by at least 2 grounds. Can the Kenya Sport Ministry meet up with these deadlines set by CAF?
I agree with you.
That's a big question.
Like I said before, we already have reserves in the National Sport Fund, billions and billions of shillings. So coming up with the state-of-the-art stadiums in the next 4 years, this is 2023. So in the next 4 years, will just be so easy once all the funds are there. The problem is the management of the funds. We are not so sure if probably the people who will be in charge of the funds will utilize them in such a way that it is required.
Okay.
We have seen, we have seen previous stadiums being done, like including Kisumu and also Meru, but they were never done in accordance to what was put on paper.
Okay, now, Ochieng, I really want you to be sincere with me. Do you want Kenya to host that competition? Do you want Kenya to join up with Tanzania and Uganda?
As a sportsman, I want Kenya to host that championship.
All right, now, I'm very sure it will be a big boost for Kenya's tourism. Thank you for unpacking every single thing and getting an understanding here to know the EAC Pamoja bid, if it will come to fruition. Thank you so much, Eric Ochieng, for joining us on the show.
Welcome, Obaro. Bye.